Okay, guys, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing solving solutions by substitutions. So, before I do anything else, I do want to go back to this problem right here that we had talked about in class. So from here, we talked about the purple line specifically is what I'm wanting to go over. It was my mistake. I do apologize. On how I told you to solve this. So please go back to this page so that way you can be sure to fix this on your end. So we talked about on the purple one that we wanted to get y is equal to mx plus b. We talked about that. And we said that m was 1/3 x and b was -3. Okay, so I told you just to add 1/3 to the other side. Again, this was my error. If you vaguely remember or remember at all, whenever there was a fraction, I told you to kind of make a little note, and you need to multiply by the denominator. That's what you had to do. You had to multiply by the denominator. So on this one, the denominator is the bottom part of the fraction. Denominator divides. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3. From here, I'm going to distribute. It's going to be 3 times y, 3 times 1/3, and 3 times -3. This is going to be 3y is equal to x minus 9. And that takes care of the fraction. It's 1x, but again, x is going to be the proper way to do that. Now from here, you're going to subtract x, and you're going to subtract x. You're going to do -x plus 3y is equal to -9. Now, I'm not sure how the test is going to have it, if it's going to have the constant as a negative or a positive, but remember the last step is if your constant was a negative, you needed to multiply all of it times -1. So really and truly, all that's going to happen is every single sign is going to change. Okay, so that's going to be a positive x, a -3y is equal to 9. This would be the proper way to be able to solve that one. Again, if you have a fraction, you need to multiply by the denominator. And then from there, you go ahead and solve as normal. If your constant is negative, that's when you need to go ahead and multiply by -1. So on the top part, for example, on this one right here, I'm going to have you leave it as this because, again, I don't know what the test is going to give it. But if you see that and then you see that the opposite signs are switched, then you would just multiply everything by -1. Once I get a better look at the test, once we get access to it, I will be able to let you know further. So just kind of have both options in your head. So now, let's go to solving with substitution. So I believe we started on this, but just kind of reiterating. So you have y is equal to 6x minus 11. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this whole part and you're going to put it into y. You're going to substitute it with parentheses. So it's going to be -2x minus 3, 6x minus 11 is equal to -7. So you're taking that equation that we had y equals and you're putting it into y. You're substituting. From here, a number in front of parentheses means to multiply. So you're going to distribute. You're going to distribute. This is -2x. This becomes -18x. This becomes positive 33 equals to -7. So second step after you distribute is to combine like terms if needed. So that's going to be here. And that's going to take you to -20x plus 33 is equal to -7. From here, it's just like solving for x like you normally do. So you're going to, and if you want to draw your line, go ahead. So you're going to subtract 33, subtract 33. You're going to bring down what you didn't use, which is -20x is equal to -40. Divide by -20, divide by -20, and x is equal to 2. So that is going to be your x, okay? Now from there, you need to go and same thing as we've done. You're going to take that x and you're going to plug it into your equation, okay? So you're going to have y is equal to 6x minus 11. So you're going to take that 2 and you're going to substitute it into the equation. 6 times 2 minus 11. And again, we got the 2 from right here. We just plug it in. Okay, and when we do that, that's going to give us y is equal to 1, because that's going to be 12 minus 11, and y is equal to 1. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to have you try this one by yourself, since it's going to be the exact same thing as the one we just did. Okay, now from here, I'm going to go ahead, and you can do that after the video or pause it, whatever's easier for you. From here, I'm going to go ahead and move on. So on here, I don't have one that is easily x equals or y equals. However, I can make it one. So try one that's the easiest. So if I'm looking, I'm personally going to pick this one right here, and I'm going to show you why. Because I have x minus 2y is equal to 11. If I want to get x by itself, all I have to do is add 2y. Add 2y. So now I have an x is equal to 2y plus 11. Okay. Now that I have that, I can take this equation and I can substitute it into this x right here. So I'm going to take negative 7, parentheses, 2y plus 11 minus 2y is equal to negative 13. Whatever one you decide you want to solve for, x is equal to, y is equal to, remember it should be done in one easy step. So from here, a number in front of parentheses means to distribute. So this is going to be negative 14y minus 77 minus 2y is equal to negative 13. From here, I'm going to combine like terms. I have a negative 14y. I have a negative 2y. When I combine those, it's negative 16y minus 77 is equal to negative 13. Again, I'm going to add the 77, add the 77, bring down what I didn't use. Negative 16y is equal to 64. Last step I need to do is to divide, because that's the opposite of multiplication. And y is equal to 4. Now what I need to do from here is I need to go ahead and substitute this y into the equation that I found. So I'm going to take this equation and come up here to give myself more room. And it's going to be x is equal to 2y plus 11. We said y was equal to 4. So it's going to be x is equal to 2 times 4 plus 11. X is equal to 8 plus 11. So x is going to equal 19. So again, just make sure whichever way you're going to substitute, it's going to be a one-step easy process. Okay? So for the next one, I'm going to give y'all a hint on which one to change. I would change this one right here. So the first step you need to do is rewrite it. Negative 5x plus y is equal to negative 2. And I would solve for y. So move everything over so it's just y equals. And then you'll do those two on your own. Now, we're going to go to word problems, okay? Remember, don't freak out about word problems. Don't freak out about word problems. We just need to see what it's asking for. So I'm going to go straight to the question, okay? It says, what system of equations could be used to determine the cost of pencils, P, so I'm going to put P, and one felt tip marker, M. So this is going to be M. So P is equal to pencil. M is equal to marker. Okay. Now I'm going to go to, that's what we're looking for. Now I'm going to go to the equation. Remember, I'm kind of skimming where I see numbers, right? So I see that first sentence. I don't see any numbers, so I'm just going to cross it out. I don't see any numbers, so I probably don't need it. Then it says Rodrigo bought 12 pencils. Okay, so I have 12 pencils. So just as you're reading it, I want you to write. He bought 12 pencils, and is a plus sign, so I'm going to do plus, just as you're reading it. 9 felt tip markers, because M stands for markers, P stands for pencils. For a total means equal for $21. Melissa bought 4 pencils. So this is another person. This was Rodrigo. Now this is Melissa. Melissa bought 4 pencils. And so plus 6 markers. For a total equals $15.05. That's your system of equations. That's it. So the biggest thing whenever you're reading these, you have to literally write it down as it's you write it down as you're reading it. Okay, so you're going to go ahead, if it says 12 pencils, write 12 pencils or 12p or whatever it is. But make sure you're taking it from the screen and you're taking it to your scratch paper, okay? And that's it. Now I'm going to go here. Okay, my second one. Go straight to the question. Which system of equations can be solved to find L and W? L and W. I don't know what they mean yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just write it down. Okay, so I'm going to look for an L. I see an L right here, and it means length. So this means length. Then I see a W, and that means width. Okay, has a perimeter. You can put P or you can spell it out. So I'll spell it out for you for the video. But on my personal notes, I put P, 300 feet. Okay? Now, just like you're reading it, the length of the rectangle, okay, so the length of a rectangle is, so this word is another word for equals. So equals 4 less. So 4 less means subtraction. So it's minus 4 something. 5 times, this means multiplication. So 5 times the width. Again, 4 less, which is minus, 5 times the width. Now, if you could write it another way, you could do length is equal to, if you were to do it exactly 4 less, that's minus 4, then 5 times. It doesn't see takeaway, so it could be either one of these. It could be either one of these. It's the exact same thing, showing you 2 different ways. So this 5W is 5 times the width. And this minus 4 is 4 less. Same thing here. This is 4 less. And this is 5 times the width. Okay, so that's one equation. Where is the other one? Well, that's where the 300 feet of a perimeter is going to come in. So length times width, okay, but is area, right? But how do I find the perimeter? The perimeter of a rectangle, right? So the perimeter of a rectangle, if this is my width, this is my width, this is my length, this is my length. I need to add length and length. So I have 2 lengths plus 2 widths. That will equal my perimeter. So you guys know you're going to need to add up all sides to get your perimeter. Well, yes, but you have 2 lengths and you have 2 widths. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 length plus 2 width is equal to the perimeter we were given is 300. So I'm going to do is equal to 300. So that's it. So what you want to do, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put length is equal to 5W minus 4. I'm going to choose that problem, the way to write that, but you can choose either way. Okay, so I'll actually go ahead and write that down. Or 2 length plus 2 width, which is our perimeter, is 300. And then if you wanted to write the other one, L is equal to -4 plus 5W. Either one is the correct answer. Now, the last page, okay? What you're going to do here is you're going to just tell me translations, okay? What's happening? Now, remember, if it's in parentheses, this is left or right, one or the other. If not, no parentheses. It is just up and down. It is just up and down. Now, again, yes, you're given a graph because this is question 1 and this is question 2 down here, okay? Yes, you're given a graph, but I still want you to go just to the question. It says, the following transformation of, gives you an equation, will cause the graph to do what? Okay, so I'm going to look at this equation. It wants to know what's happening from our original equation, which is f of x. This equation is f of x. Remember, we did that whenever we're doing our tables. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, okay? Now, I need to figure out how is it changing. Well, this is in parentheses. So from what we just wrote down, that's left or right. So just remember, it's opposite sign, okay? This one is not, so it's going to go down. The only thing that I haven't quite gone over is this one right here. Whenever it has that negative in front of it, that just means it is a negative slope. That's what that means, is it is a negative slope. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write that down. So we're going to put, so the graph will have a negative slope left 5 because that's the opposite sign, and down 3. And that's it. That's our answer. So this would be our answer, is just right here. All it wanted to know was what it was doing. So from there, I want you to go ahead and I want you to solve the next one right there.